Straight Compton, young brother named Ice Cube, from a crew named with an attitude. Express yourself, then feeling good. Even when yellow, pixel acapella, and I don't, cause it only give brain damage. Talk about the NWA, and the individual members, solo projects as well. That's straight out of Compton, after like '88. That was a pivotal year in the '80s. Really, most hip hop, scholars are called that the golden era. Even when I was born, that was the golden era as well. 9-3. So straight out of Compton driving. This is right after. In New York, where I'm from, Boogie Down Production, they tried, the classic Criminal Minded, they telling, classical stories, bang, 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 classics, so that album right there helped influence, couple, people, from California, the West Coast, where, the helps of RP, Eric Wright, Easy Does, that's another classic, We want Easy, a lot of people don't know, but tap into that, I'm from New York, but I definitely got, homage for the West, the album caused a lot of controversy, the Straight Outta Compton video, they walking on a block, in the back of the police truck, I can't really say it, I get this YouTube right, but you know what they said about the police and all that. That song almost got banned. We took a lot of the music library in general, that almost got banned permanently. And also songs like, 2 Live Crew and things of that nature, that people up in arms back in the days, I remember growing up seeing MTV, the retrospective, videos, they were stomping on Tupac and Snoop Dogg albums. It was like a civil rights lady. She wasn't tracking none of that. She passed away and things of that nature. But she wasn't really tracking what the culture was talking about. But NWA, like Ice Cube said, they was giving the news. It was really, urban CNN, detailing what really going on in them treacherous streets, not just out there in California, where the gang life was becoming prevalent, but across the United States and the whole globe was feeling that. And just with that, debut album, they was able to take, hip hop in the West to the mainstream in some sense, even though it was in the streets. And after that, Q went and did his own thing. For a while, him and NWA, they traded off discs from Jack and Beats to 100 Miles and Running. To, all that, Vaseline, Q finished it off. And, NWA dropped one more classic album, Ends for Life, right before Dr. Dre discovered Snoop Doggy Dogg, better known as Snoop Dogg these days. And dropped the historical chronic, featuring the whole Death Row and all that. That first Ice Cube album, classic. Second one, the third one, he had mad classics. Today Was a Good Day, Steady Mobbing, Stay True to the Game, Check Yourself Before You Wreck Yourself. It's mad classics, And You Love the Hate. And of course, the Chronic, the whole album. Classic, Let Me Ride, Nothing But a Cheap Thing, Ghetto Boy. It's right there, the whole album. Monument to a change hip hop and music forever, most definitely. Wow, how NWA was influenced by New York, but in return, albums like Straight Outta Compton, will go on to influence the New York scene. Future albums like Illmatic and Ready to Die, you could definitely hear the influence, how they speak on injustice. Hip hop was more raw, more ruthless, pun intended, after that album dropped. And then Nothing But a G Thing and the Chronic influence the East Coast definitely influenced Biggie, He dropped some of them G-Funk joints, Big Papa, things of that nature, Juicy, all that mainstream, flavor, that Puff was telling him to run with. That definitely was influenced by what, Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg was doing on the West Coast there. Let's see, Lanski, I'm about it. Yeah, most definitely. See, Lanski, so we're gonna get into some of my favorite tunes. The classic Notorious Duo from out of the ATL from the historical Dungeon family. From ATL, we talking about the Outcast, Outcast, Big Boy, you know, Entre 2000, came out in 94, one of my favorite albums of all time, got Crumbling on there, got Southern Playalistic, Cadillac, funky music, Claiming True, that's a classic, that's my joint, got, ain't no thing but a chicken wing, kind of gang, like that whole album, classic. Players Ball on there, Diddy, he directed that. He put on a lot of people. I ain't gonna hold you, but we ain't even gonna talk about that right now. They also got the historical, Goody Mob on there. Get up, get out, and get something. Classic joint. They throughout the album. Whether it's just them dropping a couple gems for you, or things of that nature. It was one and the same. It really was one and the same. When they came in again. They've also got other classic albums, AC Aliens, Elevators on there. That's a classic. Over Baghdad, that's a classic. All Peter Rosa Parks, that Rosa Parks joint. She wasn't really jacking that, but I ain't gonna hold you, I'm jacking that. They got Miss Jackson on there. They got So Fresh, So Clean. I drink people probably wasn't jacking that, but I was jacking that Mighty old, that joint classic, Speaker Box, Love Below, that's another classic. That's when, Three Stacks really went on some Prince type of vibes, Their classics they got though. Shit, Lanski, tapping. It's a war going on outside. Don't mean it's free from. You can run, but you can't hide forever from these streets that we done took. Walk with your head down, scared to look. Shook, 'cause ain't no such things as halfway crooks. We talking about that infamous Mobb Deep, that infamous album, one of my favorite albums of all time. I got them on my top MCs list. So let me break down some of my favorite Mobb Deep songs. Shook ones, of course. From the grittiness, it being in some of my favorite video games to the 8 Mile scene, of course. Eminem flipped it on that beat. It's historical, and then that classic album they got, but that one in particular got Temperatures Rising on it. For the Nine, Raekwon, Nas on it, Mad Joints on there, Noise on there. Give up the goods to get the whole album classic. Tap to that if you could. They got mad other classic albums, Hell on Earth, Quiet Storm. Even when they went with G Unit, they was doing anything on Peter Prodigy, most definitely one of the best lyricists of all time, one of the best lyricists, both of them, shout out to Havoc, the instrumentations he came with was mad great, coming off the back of Illmatic, they took it to another level on Queensbridge and the whole New York and the whole globe, but yeah, yeah.